Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to talk about Game 117 of the regular season, where the Astros lose 4-2 to the Chicago Whitesox. The Astros led 2-0 in this game for about 2 hours, from the first inning through 2 outs in the 8th inning, bottom of the 8th, actually. And then some stuff happened, which is a bit of an oversimplification. We'll talk about that in due time. And we lose. So, let's just start at the beginning, because there isn't a ton to talk about. Astros, first batter, Mauricio Dubon. Hey, he singles. Nito Esposito. Yuli Gurriel, fielder's choice. Not a good throw. Yuli gets on base. He got runners at the corners. That's Nito Esposito for you. And then Yordan Alvarez with a sac fly. Cool. Alex Bregman with a double. By God, has he been a hot hitter this season. Or the past couple weeks. I mean, he's been great. Ever since the birth of little Knox, he's been getting a lot of knocks. That's good. I should have saved that for a video where I'm not angry. And already, I mean, wow, up 2-0 against Johnny Cueto. Solid pitcher, right? Having a pretty solid season this year, Johnny Cueto. Sub 3 ERA, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, hey, good for him. Bit of a return to form. 2.78 ERA this season for Johnny Cueto, even after tonight. Not too shabby. Get some weak contact. I mean, boy, he held the Astros to nothing tonight. 8 innings. Amazing for Johnny Cueto. Look at the expected batting average for the Astros. I want to say it was like 178. Just a lot of weak contact. And honestly, after the first inning, the Astros had 1 inning of work where they actually challenged Johnny Cueto, and that was about it. Loaded the bases with 2 outs, bring up Alex Bregman, pops out. That's not great. And that is another thing I will talk about. The Astros only got 2 runs tonight. That's not wonderful. That's not going to win you a whole heck of a lot of games. So while I'm about to go off on some other things, we should also kind of, not let this go unnoticed. Because, yeah, some things that happen later on, awful. Awful, awful. That being said, kind of burying the lead, the Astros offense scored 2 runs and went 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position with 8 men left on base. That is not nothing. But, I mean, hey, story of the night. Story of the night! As it often always is with HOU2 Urquidy. Or at least how it's been recently. Very solid start in some respects and not in others. I mean, look, you can look at box score, right? Normal statistics. If you're a normal, happy human being, you look at innings, you look at hits, runs, walks and strikeouts, get that FIP in there, have a jolly old time. And if you hate having fun and enjoying life like myself, you might look at things like expected batting average, the hard hit balls, stuff like that. And you think, yeah, he was giving us some hard contact. They were barreling it up pretty okay against HOU2 Urquidy. 9 hard hit balls in 7 2/3. That isn't great. That's not wonderful, but hey, you can get away with it. The Astros have, I think, the best offense or the best defense in the league by outs above average. The Astros make up for our pitchers who sometimes give up some hard hit balls because boy, oh boy, do we have a great defense. But hey, 8th inning of work for HOU2 Urquidy. Batter just grounds one. Just a simple little ground ball. I want to make sure I get it right because I want to make sure I get it right because, oh boy, I don't want... Yeah, A.J. Pollock. Just a little nibbler. Launch angle was like -52, just straight into the dirt for a dribbler. Only hit it like 32 miles an hour. Just a slow hit ball. Not good contact at all. I mean, heck, if Bregman would have been in a little bit farther, doesn't have to try to barehand it, easy out at first. But it wasn't that. It wasn't an easy out at first. Bregman was back. Bregman had to charge it. He couldn't quite barehand it. Even if he does, it would have taken a perfect throw and maybe a strong gust of wind to get it over to first in time because Pollock was hustling. So, instead of that, he reaches. No worries. You'd think, oh, it's only 1 base runner, and that wasn't even a hit that really counts. But that is not what Dusty Baker says. He pulls HOU2 Urquidy. 7 2/3 scoreless, 4 strikeouts to no walks. Yes, 9 hard hit balls. That doesn't look too great. But luckily for you, next man up, Andrew Vaughn, had struck out twice, 50% of the strikeouts tonight for Jose Urquidy came off of Andrew Vaughn. And you think, all right, he's 0 for 3. Urquidy's just going to dot him up a couple times, fill the zone up, get out of the inning, no problem. And that's not what happened. Instead, pulls Urquidy, puts in Rafael Montero, who pitched yesterday, might I remind you all, and got shelled in that game, brings him into this one, and the control is absolutely gone in this game for Rafael Montero. Did not record an out, gave up 2 walks and 3 hits. 5 consecutive batters reached off of Montero. 5 straight. And all of a sudden, the Astros, in a matter of, without recording it out, not even a technical inning, not even a technical, third of an inning, go from leading by 2, win probability so far over into our favor, it's not even funny, gone. Lead gone, tie game gone, we're trailing by 2, we go into the top of the 9th, and it's over. It's over. It's funny, I was sitting on my front porch, watching this game on my tablet, sitting with my dad and great family friend of ours who's pretty much family. And I'm watching the game, and I think to myself, I have that stupid thought that I have every once in a while, man, I don't know what I'm going to even talk about in the video tonight, because there just isn't much of a story. Only 1 inning's worth of runs for the Astros. They scored both in the first, and now it's been shut out all the way through the top of the 8th. This is going to be a short video where I had nothing of value. I was trying to rack in my brain things I could possibly say about this game, and oh boy golly, did the bottom of the 8th completely stockpile me with ammunition. I pulled it up. When Pollock singled, win probability for the Astros dropped from 91% in favor of us to 89%. And 5 batters later, it was 94% in favor of the White Sox. 5 batters did that. And ultimately, I think there's 2 interpretations of this game you can have. And it's without context or with it. It's optimist, pessimist. Old head, sabermetrician. You want to go from this side? Let's start with this side. It's your pitcher nearing the 100 pitch count, getting tired, gives up a base hit. Bring in your reliever who's been a rock out of the pen all season long. I mean, absolutely fantastic. Who could see it coming that he's going to allow 5 consecutive base runners to reach? Who could have seen that coming, that he was going to get lit up like a Christmas tree in August? Jingle all the way. Who saw it coming after all? And I mean, hey, it's not like it's a team that's terrible. They're on the up and up, the White Sox. And I mean, hey, the Astros beat them last year in the playoffs, in that building after all. They dropped a 10 spot on them in an elimination game, Game 4. So it's a bit of revenge for the White Sox. It happens to the best of them. And I mean, hey, the Astros just got done sweeping whoever they played last. So, it happens. Games like this happen. You can't get too worried about it. And then we move to this side. We move to the with context side. Yes, Urquidy did not have a great evening, in my opinion. Gave up a lot of hard contact. This was not the inning to pull him. It was a 74-mile-an-hour line out, so not too well of a hit ball. A 97-mile-an-hour hit line out, but expected batting average only at 270, or 340, 340. Not great. And then a 32-mile-an-hour dribbler that if Bregman was playing 10 feet closer, fields with ease, throws him out, ending over, done. A base hit that was nothing. And you pull a pitcher who, yes, higher in the pitch count. Not quite at 100. And I mean, Dusty, after all, has pushed pitchers past the 100 point this season. I don't know why now was the time that he decided not to. Even when said starting pitcher is about to face a person he's retired 3 times tonight, 2 via strikeout. 50% of his strikeouts came against Andrew Vaughn. I can't stress it enough. And you pull him for Rafael Montero, who pitched yesterday, might I remind everyone, yesterday. Gave up a pair of runs, got shellacked in that game, clearly didn't have it, and now you pitch him again the next day on short rest. And he gets shellacked. And we act surprised? It doesn't make any sense. And Dusty Baker, this season, has simultaneously, just at random, either pushed a player too far or not let them do anything. right? At random, it seems. He'll have a pitcher go out for 7 innings of baseball. The 7th, he was struggling to get out of it, and then he'll try to get an 8th inning out of him, and it just doesn't work. He'll go out for the 8th, he'll give up multiple runs. Doesn't look good, he'll get pulled in it, and then kind of ruins a good game. Or, on the flip side, he'll have a pitcher who, through 6 innings, looks great, amazing, is just carving up a lineup, and then he pulls him. And it's without rhyme or reason. It just seemingly is at random. And I'm not gonna hit the panic button, right? I'm not going to burn the place to the ground and start crying in a corner, because it's a game. It's one game that you lose to an opponent, right? I get that. I get that you lose games. You're not going to win them all. I understand that. And overall for the season, I maintain that Dusty Baker has managed more good games than bad games. But, and that's the but, all of the bad managed games have been popping up real recently as we're marching closer to the playoffs. And that makes me just a wee bit nervous. Like, flip it around. If the past, 2 weeks worth of management moves that Dusty Baker has done happened in the first 2 weeks of the season, and then everything that he did at the start of the season gets pushed to now, you feel confident. Because I maintain the first, 90 games, I thought he managed pretty darn well. I thought his bullpen management was good, his lineup cards were as solid as they could be with the lineup that he was given. But then when we went and upgraded at the deadline, and he didn't really change anything, granted, hey, credit where it's due, he's been starting Mancini a bit more. I mean, go figure, a player has a 1W or a 170 WRC plus with your club, and then you start putting him in the lineup. Brava. But I'll at least give him that credit. At least he's not completely against using Vasquez. I'll give him the credit there. But all of the really questionable stuff that Dusty has done this season have come in the past 2 weeks. All the comments, all the lineup moves, all the bullpen moves have been really, really recently as we're starting to heat up for the playoffs. And that, one might say, is when you least want the bad moves. Look, maybe I'm just dumb. Maybe I'm just overreacting to a couple of games in August. That is, hey, that's possible. That's possible. That's a thing that could be happening. Maybe I'm just panicking over nothing, right? Over a couple of moves that, hey, it happens. Or maybe we, and I say we, meaning all the sabermetricians out there. Heck, maybe not even the sabermetricians, because I know some of you guys aren't sabermetricians. Maybe just the people that look at general things. Like, why'd you pull a pitcher after a weak little dribbler? Those guys, maybe we're just all reading the writing on the wall, and it has caution signs on it. So, bump the mic. That's all I got for this. Play again tomorrow. Same time, same place, 8:10 Eastern, 7:10 Central. We send Justin Verlander to the mound. And the White Sox send their own Cy Young candidate, Dylan Cease. So, promises to be a good game. Should be a pitching duel, which probably means it'll end 7-6. And I'll be here afterwards to talk about it. But that's all I have to say for the evening. So, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. And as always, go Astros.